Hey everybody, John, Veteran Realtor Podcast. The Elizabeth Dole Act, which was signed into law last week by President Biden, does a lot of great things. A lot of people are focused on just the GI Bill, but I want to tell you guys more about the other features that it has, because although the GI Bill portion is awesome, this bill does a lot more for long-term care, for dental, for transparency, for outreach for veterans, so veterans know what benefits are available to them, increasing the knowledge and outreach, and mental health for caregivers, and a lot of other things too. So I wanted just to let you guys know a bunch of these things that Elizabeth Dole Act does include, besides just the GI Bill. So first, the Veterans Community Care Program. As you know, we posted on our blog article a few weeks ago about the changes that they were wanting to implement. So the Veterans Care Community Program, the changes, they want to improve the access to care, make it easier to get care. They want to finalize more agreements between the veterans and the providers, and then increase the eligibility for veterans to know what they're eligible for. So that's part of this. The bill is just increasing the outreach to make sure veterans know. Recently, we had a Vietnam veteran didn't know that he could get the property tax credit at 100% disability rated by the VA. That's a huge saving for veterans, right? There's just a lot of things that veterans don't know, because we do have a lot of resources and a lot of great things at our disposal and things that we can utilize, but there's so many different places to find them. And so I think really we need like a more central place. It's a whole nother rant. But anyways, so increasing access to care, increasing knowledge for veterans of eligibility and stuff like that. They are going to do annual reviews on payment waivers and updates to quality standards. They want to do improve the administration, the dental approval process, the scheduling processes. Now, we don't know exactly how they're going to want to try to implement these changes or what they're going to do, but the bill itself does outline certain stages, whether it's 90 days, 2 years, or 5 years. It's a common threshold for a lot of these, where the secretary has to do certain steps, actionable steps within those timeframes, and then reassess or see what's working and not working and things like that. So we'll see some changes right away, but some are going to take a little bit longer because they are going to take time to implement to get funding and stuff like that. So let's see here, long-term care for family caregivers. So they're going to increase funding and resources for long-term care, both at the VA facilities and non-VA facilities too. The non-VA facilities is one of the focuses that they have here, so people can get more care outside of the VA and stuff like that. So they also are going to have grants for mental health care for non-veterans, for caregivers. So if you're taking care of a veteran on your caregiver, they're going to have grants and stuff like that to help take care of your mental health, because we know it's hard to take care of somebody else when you're not doing well, and it can be hard to take care of veterans sometimes, right? Some of us get grumpy, or we have a lot of things going on in our heads, so it's just nice that the caregivers will have more support too, so that they can better help us in the future. So expansion of home-based community programs like the veteran-directed care and home-based primary care. So they're expanding funding and stuff like that, so more veterans can get in-home health care, and improvements to caregiver support programs, including assessments and enhanced transitions. So they want to increase the support programs for the caregivers, just like the mental health. That's a focus of them, is the caregivers. It's hard to be a caregiver for anybody. You need to be able to take care of yourself too. So they're going to have more assessments and stuff like that for them, just to help them make sure that they're staying healthy and things. Medical and dental services, as I talked about before, they're going to increase the accessibility for dental care and assisted living to non-VA facilities as well. And they also want to increase the reporting on the dental referrals and things like that for more accountability. A lot of the Elizabeth Dole Act is just accountability, to make sure that people are being held accountable and there's transparency. As you remember, I think it was $75 million or $1 billion, whatever the budget was negative. So I think part of this is just making sure that staying on track budget-wise, and we're still maintaining transparency and accountability to make sure veterans are getting the care that they need, and the caregivers get the support that they need as well. So that's a lot of the bill, which is great. People need to be held accountable. We're supposed to be taking care of our veterans. We need to make sure that that is being done. So prevention and reporting. They want an annual report on suicide prevention, right? They've always had that. They've always wanted it. But they also want to do a deeper dive at the corner level, at the local level, so that they can really dig into the cause of death for the veterans. Everything's just not labeled a suicide or whatever it might be. So they want to hammer down what the suicide rates are, and by doing that, they're going to the CDC make sure that the deaths of veterans are being categorized correctly. So it'll be interesting to see if that number down or brings it up. I know 2022 we had a little flop suicide rate veteran-wise, but the other years it's all kind of the same. So we'll see how the trends continue as far as that goes. Obviously, if you need help or you need resources, please reach out to us at any time. Otherwise, there are a lot of other resources as well. So I just wanted to put that out there. We're always here if you guys need help or need support for whatever it might be, not just housing, but we do everything. So speaking of which, a lot of things that put stress on people's lives, which might lead to suicide, is economics, right? So economic, the opportunity, and that's the economic part of the bill is they expanded the Fry Scholarship. So the Fry Scholarship had an expiration date. They removed the expiration date. And they also are going to improve the payment systems for the Fry Scholarship as well. And increase transparency for educational institutions that participate in VA programs. And they also want to modernize things, right? The VA wants to modernize, so that's going to be awesome. I wonder what they're going to go to, if it's like the 90s now or 2000s or 2010, like how they're going to modernize it. But anyhow, they want to modernize comparison tools for the VA. So what they want to do is make it so veterans can compare their, use better comparisons and stuff when using their GI Bill. Then employment and training, they are doing updates to the USERA laws. Can't talk, it's so much stuff, I'm like, updates to USERA, and I will do a video on that as well so people know what the changes are going to be implemented, protect service members more. Also for veterans in conservation roles through pilot programs. So I don't know exactly what that includes yet. That part I didn't look into too much, but I'll get more information as well. So they also want to home loan stuff. They want to improve the Native American Direct Loan Program, and create like a re-lending program for Native Americans. So I'm going to research that for you guys and get you guys more information too, just because it's kind of a neat program that they do for Native Americans, Department of Veterans Affairs. So lastly, they want to do memorial affairs. They want to include standards for medical disability exams and modernization of disability questionnaires. So as you know, in the news, we've had a lot of stories about the exams not being proper, things not going correct, things like that. So they want to really dig into the disability DBQs and that quality standards. We've been through some of those things. You go to random locations. I think for some of your exams, like I'm gonna take a warehouse for like a blood draw. I'm like, where am I going here? So they can kind of get that streamlined together. But also want to get more automated tools processing disability claims for burial and memorial benefits. Want to allow burial allowances for veterans that are receiving care. They also want to create more grants too to awareness of benefits among veterans. So like we talked about, or like I talked about, want to make sure that veterans do know the benefits that are available. And there's so many different resources, so many different things, websites, phone numbers, all that. So I think it would be nice if we had more of a central place, but I know each state has their own things for veterans as well. So if you guys want to know what specific state things for like the state of Wisconsin resources available, things like that, feel free to reach out to me. I can let you guys know about all the state resources and a bunch of the federal ones as well. So we also have the Dane County Veteran Service Office. So every county has a office that you can go to. So if you're not sure about your benefits or you don't know where to find out, or you don't have a copy of your 214, you need to get a copy, you don't know where to get it, things like that, your county service office, very large help for you, right? They can help you set up your disability claims. They can help you get a copy of your 214. They can help you get the property tax credit. They can help you do a whole lot of things. They're very knowledgeable and they're awesome. So you have a lot of questions too. The county service in your area would be an amazing tool. So we're actually going to have Brandon Lutz on our podcast too, and he is the county service officer for Dane County. So that is going to be awesome, and that's going to be in the next couple of weeks. So watch for that. Last thing is we hear about a lot is homelessness among veterans. They do want to increase payments for homeless veteran services. So people who are providing services to homeless veterans, they want to increase the per diem for them to make sure that they're getting adequately reimbursed and supported and things like that. They also want more flexibility in funding for essential items like transportation for veterans and stuff like that for veterans that are homeless. And they want expansion of health services for homeless veterans. So they want to make sure that veterans have more access to in-home health, but telehealth, just like what people would have in-home and things like that. So hopefully that will increase the homeless population getting more care that they need versus not getting the care right. Because if they don't want to go to a facility, maybe going telehealth-wise would be a better option for them, and they can still get some care versus not getting it at all. So this is just a large of the Elizabeth Dole Act. So, but all in all, I think it's got a lot of great tools. I think it's going to have a lot more accountability, and I'm excited to see how some of this breaks out. Hopefully some of the things, the VA tools do get refreshed and modernized. The VA disability process gets a little bit easier. We get increased care for veterans and caregivers, and of course the expanded GI Bill benefits as well. So if you have any more questions about the Elizabeth Dole Act, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. You can call me 608-669-4226, or you can email me john@integrityhomeswi.com. Hope you guys have a great day. And remember to always subscribe to the Veteran Realtor podcast for more information on veteran benefits, stories, and all the great things you want to know. Take care.